Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I've never done a 24-hour readathon, partly because I've only stayed up 24 hours once in my life, and that was in 5th grade. And I just I sleep late, I go to sleep pretty late. Honestly, I don't need to function on that much sleep, but I do sleep. When I read, I go on my phone a lot, and so I'm really scared for this. I don't know if it's ever gonna finish. I don't know how many days it's gonna take. Hi guys. Okay, update on day 4. Day 5. Hey guys. Also, there's 3 different ways that I've seen how to do a 24-hour readathon. It's the stopwatch method, where every time you're not reading, you pause the time. And there's also the 12 hours and 12 hours. So see how much you can read in 12 hours and then go about your day. And then the next day is the second 12 hours, so it combined reaches 24 hours. And then there's the absolute hard way that I'm terrified of, which is 24 hours straight. Stopwatch, 24 hours, you just go. You stay up and everything like that. I'm gonna do all 3. Not in this video. I'm not doing all 3 in this video. I'm gonna break these up into parts, and we're going to work our way up into the ultimate 24-hour readathon, where I stay up the whole day and read. The easiest one to me right now is the stopwatch, and just see how long it takes me to read 24 hours. How many books I can read in 24 hours consecutively. Okay, that's it. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly. Consecutively? I don't know. We have a lineup. I truly don't know. I don't know how long this is gonna take me, but right now I'm reading on my Kindle Sword of Hygiene. I'm gonna say Hygiene. This is by Emma Wang. It's a very long book. I think it's around 650 pages. I'm on page 36. I started this last night, almost fell asleep at 11:45, and then I stopped reading it because the info dumped some lore, history in the world, and so I was just I can't do this right now. So I turned it off, did not go to bed. I stayed on my phone until 2 a.m. Yeah, I was about to fall asleep during this, but then I stayed up on my phone. I do think blue light is affecting me, but I can honestly lights out very quickly, even with blue light. So don't tell me to buy blue light glasses. I won't. Next I have to read this book for a class, so I'm adding this in here. I have to read Henry V. I'm halfway through Henry V right now, and then I don't know how long this is gonna stand, but I have The Stolen Heir, and I've actually just read this, and I'm actually going to, Holly Black's new book is coming out. I'm going to see Holly Black, she's gonna sign it, and then I'm gonna read the second and last book out of this duology for Wren and Oak. Today's Sunday. We'll see how long it takes. My main priorities are Henry V and Sword of Hygiene. I also have other books on my Kindle. I could read Meg Schaffer's new arc that I have. I've got a bunch of options. I just haven't been reading. Sword of Hygiene and Henry V are my main priorities. I'm going to just do the stopwatch. I don't know if I'm gonna read right now. I think I'm gonna go eat something because I literally woke up, had to get ready for this video, and yeah. Oh, look at my outfit. Look at my shirt. Guess who I'm giving? I'm giving Dex from One Day. I watched that show, and you don't expect me to cosplay as Dex? 90s, 80s heartthrob? Okay, back to Henry V. I can read this audibly. I just cannot do Shakespeare. I'm so sorry. I can appreciate Shakespeare in class discussions and when people flat out tell me what's happening, but that's gonna count as well. I think I have an hour left on that, so which is about 30 minutes, 2 times speed, but 24-hour readathon. It's starting, my first one. Hi guys, I'm about to start my first batch of my first section of reading. I am going to finish off Henry V. Doing it now. I'm about to clean the apartment, okay? And I just needed something to listen to. I could listen to music, and I could mindlessly listen to a vlog, but I think I'm gonna start by finishing off Henry V. Hi guys, I gotta get myself in gear. The whole day yesterday, I only read for an hour and 4 minutes. So we've got 23 hours left. In the hour and 4 minutes, I have only 1 act of Henry V left, and I got to page 100 of Sword of Hygiene. I feel Sword of Hygiene, it's good, but I'm not invested right now, and I don't know how long that's gonna take for me to get invested. All I know is I have to read. I've got to read. I'm going to aim for at least 5 hours today. I only have one class. I don't have too much work to do. That's a lie, but I think I can do it all today and then read for the rest of the night. That's my goal. I don't want this to take so long. I thought I was gonna do better. Bears Way update. We're only an hour into the 24-hour readathon, and I do need to get myself in gear. Okay guys, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that I am officially a liar. I really do need to get my butt in gear. I've been editing a video for the past 3 hours. And the funny thing is, the sad part is, the video was fully edited. The video was basically done. I just had to add music, sound effects, and then like polish everything up and like add text and stuff like that. Why did that take me 3 hours? And I did that because I was finished with my work. And then I did the thumbnail, and so I only have an hour left to actually read and like actually like do it, because okay, every night me and my roommate, we eat dinner, we sit on this couch and watch YouTube till like 10, 11 o'clock. Like that's like the norm. Like we just like sit here and watch YouTube or anything that we're watching. It's mostly YouTube the whole night basically. Because we're doing that, I don't have time to read, but I have to at least get an hour done right now. Guys, this is a worse week to do my 24-hour read. Why did I think that was a good idea? Maybe I stopped. Maybe I scratch this video and I do it later. Okay, update on day 3. I'm basically 5 hours in and I've finished the first 2 books. Finished one book last night, and I was listening to this on audiobook. I finished the rest of Henry V. I think I had like 1 act left. There's one book down in that 5 hours. I finished Sword of Kaigon. I'm not sure how I feel. I'm not sure how I feel. I really enjoyed it. I do think, I just don't know the definite like rating I'm gonna put it on. Basically, we follow a couple characters, but we mostly follow a mom. Her name is Misaki. I'll put the spelling of her name. Her and her family, she got married to a high-ranking family in the Kaigan Peninsula. The Sword of Kaigan, it's like basically like a military like thing, and a bunch of the boys like they're training for everything like that. Let me read the synopsis so I'm not spoiling anything. Okay, war is coming. That happens on the Kaigan Peninsula. I don't know how to say it. Like it's a standalone high fantasy book, and then we also follow her son Mamoru. I think that's how you say it. I'll also put it here. We follow those two. Her son is in the Sword of he's in the Sword of Kaigan, I think. The magic system's so cool. I think like a bunch of like different like areas of the empire. I don't know if they're all in one empire. I honestly don't know. But a bunch of different like areas on the map, they have like the people there have like different powers. In the Kaigan Peninsula, they have like ice and like water power, so it's really cool. I love a good water power. War comes over into the peninsula and everyone's like, whoa, didn't know this was happening. Why would the Empire not warn us about this? Like I thought we were like I thought the Sword of Kaigan were the top dog. There's crazy character development in here. Crazy character development that I was like did not expect to ever see. The writing in here is so good. It's so good. The fight scenes are amazing. It took me a while to get into. I've updated this on my Goodreads. The first 20%, which is roughly like 150, 200 pages, nothing was clicking up here. Nothing was happening. I was just reading the words on the Kindle. After the 20% mark, something just like clicked in my brain. Like my brain like unlocked something and like it opened up and I could understand everything. Oh, my nail broke. Don't look at it. The book's like really good at like the way the author like develops the sentences. It's just really, it flows nicely. It feels like, it just feels like magical. I don't know how to say it, but there's one quote that I saw that I was like, I had to take a picture of it. This is out of context. He glowed in the downpour, raindrops evaporated as they fell on him, hissing softly. The mist they created caught the fiery light of his skin, cloaking him in flame-like vapors. Isn't that just beautiful? We're not on the rating yet. We finished the first 2 books. I don't know what I'm gonna read now. I think I want to read A Temptress of Tea. I want to read that by Hafsa Faisal, or I might start The Lost Story by Meg Shaffer. I have that arc. I just can't believe we're only 5 hours in. Day 4. Day 4 update. This is gonna take so long. How do people do this? Maybe it's because I'm a full-time student, but like still, I'm 6.5 hours into, I'm literally showing you this. I don't know if this is gonna be backwards. I'm 6.5 hours into my readathon, my 24 hours. Today, I met Holly Black. So there was like a cap on like how many books that Holly Black could sign. They were gonna allow the new book, Prisoner's Throne, but I pre-ordered that, and I didn't get that signed because it's going to my house on Friday. I got the collector's edition of The Cruel Prince signed. Oh, and then I got The Wicked King, Queen of Nothing, and The Book of Night signed. 4 books signed, and then I also bought How the King of Elfham Learned to Hate Stories, or Learn to Love Stories, one of them. Here's Holly Black's, like she get like a goodie bag at the end. And this is like her promo to her card game that I will buy. And then I got the Prisoner's Throne bookmark with a little lock pin and a sticker. Yep, I added this to my Holly Black shrine. On to the actual reading updates. I'm 46% through The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. This is an arc I got off NetGalley. I absolutely adored The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. This one is a lot more fantastical. Because this one, The Wishing Game focuses on like a fantasy book kids literature series. And I feel like, honestly, to me, it didn't class as fantasy. It classed it more like a fiction book. But like, I didn't see it as fantasy, even though it's like under the fantasy category, I think. But The Lost Story is more fantastical. It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland, like Narnia type of fantasy aspect to it. And I really like how the book is like set up. There's like some like narration points, and then it's like, then it actually gets into the story. It's like really cool. I don't know how to say it. I'm also not allowed to show you any bits of it, like no like quotes, because that's what it said at the beginning of the arc. It's an uncorrected version of the book. So I'm not allowed to show you anything about it, but I can tell you about it. If I can't, then I guess this video is gonna take it down. Oh, it's coming out July 16th, 2024. The story is about, basically these 2 boys are lost. They got lost. They're missing kids, and then all of a sudden, 6 months later, they show up out of nowhere, and they look different, and like everything looks like that. But like the kids are back, and so everyone's like, oh my god, these 2 boys, they came back after they've been lost for 6 months. So those 2 boys are Jeremy and Ralph. Then we're 15 years later, we see them both aged up, and Jeremy is he's a person that helps find missing girls. But we also have another character, Emily, and she approaches Jeremy and she's like, my sister's lost, like help me find my sister. And that's where the story comes off, and it's actually so good. It's like Meg Schaefer just knows how to write a book for me. Like, it's so good. I love the pacing. Also, at the 46% mark, if you're ever reading this on your Kindle and like there's a 46% mark, get ready to have your mind blown. Like, I was like, I knew, like I saw the information like a couple pages before that, and I was just like, okay. But then they talk about like something that like is so like prevalent in someone's character, and like it gets explained at the 46% mark. It was a verbal like reaction. I was like, oh my god, wow. Meg Schaefer and her brain, like, oh my god. Maybe it's not like, it literally probably isn't that like crazy, but like I thought it was insane. I'm really loving it, and it's taking me not that long to finish 3 books. So what are we gonna do? How many books do you think we're gonna finish in this 24 hours? Because this is to test how fast I read books. I'm about to go get ready for bed, read some more, add some more time to the clock, and then tomorrow I'm leaving for spring break. And by leaving, I'm going back home. I'm going home. There we go. See ya. Day 5. This is so embarrassing of me to just say this. I'm 8 hours in. Oh, and I finished my 3rd book. If we're not counting like halfway into Henry V, then it's my 2nd book. Just finished The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. I really liked it. I'm giving it a 4 stars. You can see my review on my Goodreads account. Since the last time I updated you, like the halfway point, I feel like the story like really switched up, and it just felt like we were set in another area, and it just felt like a completely different book with the same characters. I think I do like the unknown aspect of like the first half better than I liked the second half, even though the second half is more fantastical. I just really liked the first half a lot, but like a bunch of like the things that were mentioned in the first, like the beginning of the book came full circle like at the end. I liked the story. I do think I like The Wishing Game better. Next book I think I'm gonna read is A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. It's like around 370. I want to get to 12 hours today. Don't know how plausible that is.
I didn't
Hi guys, new day. Okay, it's day 6 of the readathon. I am only halfway through, 11 hours and 20 minutes in. I'm hoping to get a lot done. I ended last night at 9 hours and I read to 11 hours. And I actually finished my 4th book, which is A Tempest of Tea. The pacing split up into three parts. I mean, the last 2 parts were like the better parts of the book. The first part of the book, it felt like really draggy. I feel like the first like part of the book, which was probably like the first like 45%, I wasn't really invested in like the plot and storyline too much, but then like stuff started racking up towards the like end half and I was like really enjoying that part. So yeah, and I just wasn't really invested in a lot of the characters. In the end, I kind of like learned to like care about all of the characters a little bit, but I really only cared about 2 other characters, which were Jin and Flick. I loved both of them and I grew to like Arthi a little bit more, but it's basically we follow a heist. Arthi and Jin, they both have like this like a tea house and they love the tea house. It's like their home and they're a found family in themselves. Then they wrangle in a little bit more people to help with the heist. There's vampires in here. The vampire like fantasy aspect I didn't really care too much about. I didn't really like it that much. But Hafsa Faisal, she has another book series. I don't know what like the actual official name of the duology is, but it's We Hunt the Flames and We Free the Stars. And I love that like duology so much. I think I rated both of those 5 stars. And there's like little like sprinkles of that like world in here and it's like really fun. Overall, it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. I'm giving that a 3.5. I'm about to go see a movie. I love watching movies. I really have to get this readathon through. Hey guys, it's been a week since I started this challenge, but technically it's day 8 of reading because I did read on the first day and I am at 17.5 hours. Oh, yesterday I didn't update you, but I like had a time lapse, but I finished A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. I'm giving that a 2 stars. Okay, if it was just one book, in this book there's 2 books incorporated into it because I think it was like a 5 or 10 year anniversary, and so the author wrote basically the same story in the guy's POV. Like the first 300 pages were in the girl's POV and like the main book, like the last 200 pages were the guy's retelling of the story. Basically the story wasn't that good. I just don't think I liked the characters as much. I think this is basically about B and Jamie, and they meet when they were in high school, and then it follows like their like friendship relationship type of thing. It just follows them being so in love with each other but not being together a lot of the time. Very toxic on like, not on their, like it is kind of toxic on their behalf, but like they're just like so toxic to other people around them because they love each other so much. Like it's like a worse done Magnolia Parks. Sorry. I think like the characters were so selfish, and like you could say the same thing about Magnolia Parks, but like I didn't, like I don't know, I just liked the characters and I liked the personalities of the characters in Magnolia Parks. And I didn't really like them in here. Like B and Jamie, they were just like pretty surface level. Like I just didn't care. And honestly, if it was just the one book in B's POV in the first 350 pages, then it would have been like a 3 or something like that. But because we got Jamie's POV, I was basically reading the same exact thing and nothing new was added to it because I knew how he felt already. So I felt like that was just like so much extra words. Apparently on the Goodreads thing it says an extra 50,000 words. So we read 50,000 words of just knowing what already happened. So Love Letter to Whiskey, 2 stars. Next I read The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. This is the second and last book out of the Stolen Heir duology. So it's The Stolen Heir and then this one. Those follow Oak and another character, Ren, that we meet in the 3rd book in the original like Folk of the Air trilogy. Oak is Jude's younger brother. So we're a couple years after the Folk of the Air finished. I reread the first one the beginning of the month, and that one we're mostly in Ren's POV, and actually this one we're we're in Oak's POV, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting to be in Ren's POV again. But at the end of the first one, I didn't really care about Oak that much. I really only cared about Ren. And it kind of like changes in this book because I do really like Oak now. I liked the story. I think this one's way better than the first one. And I feel like it just flowed better. And I felt like there wasn't like, in the first one, there was like unnecessary like plots that we went to and like things that we like explored, but they aren't unnecessary in like the grand scheme of things, but they felt unnecessary to me. They felt like it was just dragging on. This one, so good. We got a lot more Jude and Carden in this one, so I'm always happy. I really grew to like Oak in this book because we're like told through like his thought processes and stuff like that, so it's really fun. I really liked it. I gave this 4.5. For the remaining 6.5 hours, I'm reading Yellowface right now by R. Kwong. I'm like a chapter into it. I'm thinking maybe it's the last full book that we might finish in this challenge. And if I have time left over, I will start another book. Reading Yellowface by R. Kwong. I'm hoping to finish this challenge tomorrow. I don't think I can read 6 hours today. Sorry. God, we did it! Finally. Why did that take so long? Okay guys, I started this challenge Sunday. It's now Monday the next week and we finished the challenge. I'll do a more formal recap later, but I finished Yellowface earlier this morning. And then I started and finished This Could Be Us. This is by Kennedy Ryan. This is the second in the Skyland series. Honestly, I think I like This Could Be Us a little bit better than Before I Let Go, but I haven't like formulated like an actual rating or anything like that. And then I just started 14 pages into Kingdom of the Wicked. I finished Yellowface. Yellowface honestly makes me like feel icky. Like I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to formulate my thoughts on Yellowface. Where I'm gonna finally wrap this up, tell you about all the books I read, my ratings on all of them. I know I said that this could be a series. I don't think I'm cut out for 24-hour challenges. Because why did this take me a week and a day? Why did this take me so long? I was reading for 9 days. 24 hours done. Thank God. Thank God. How many books did I read? 8 if we're counting Henry V. Dang, 8 books in 24 hours. I'll see you when I wrap this video up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm free. I'm free. Hi guys. It's been a couple days. I've had some time to reflect. I've written out my thoughts on the books. In that span of 24 hours, we read 8 books in that span of 24 hours. 8 including half of an audiobook that I had to finish listening to. So if not, then it's only 7 books. We read 7 full books in that 24 hour. And we're gonna start out with my rankings and my thoughts, my overall thoughts on them. So the first book we finished was Sword of Kaigen by Emma Wang. I'm giving this a 4.25 stars. I just kind of like went into it not expecting how the storyline would like play out. I really did enjoy the story. The first 20%, which is around like I think 100 pages, nothing in this head. The world building was just so much for me and I just could not grasp onto any bit of it, and then all of a sudden it clicked. The main conflict happens around like 50% of the book, and then the rest of the book after that is based on like the consequences of the conflict. And so we like follow the aftermath of the main conflict for the majority of the book, and that the last 50% of the book went in a direction I was not expecting, and I was like expecting for more conflict to happen. Never happened. It was still so good because the characters changed so much from the beginning to the end of the book. This book is really well written. There's some quotes that are so good. I just really liked the book. Next, I read The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. This was an arc and I'm giving this a 4 stars. This comes out in, I'll put it when I'm editing. Let me say, this book is so well written. I love like how it was formatted. You'll see when you read it, but like there's like a specific formatting and it's really fun. I loved all the characters in it, but I feel like this book is so fairy tale like. It's like Alice in Wonderland. The first half and the second half of the book feels so different. Like they're just like 2 different books to me. Like I feel like we spent too much time And like the fairy tale land, for me, once we got to the fairy tale land, it was like a whole different type of book. And there was a new, like, it was like a whole like separate journey and like a whole separate like plot and like everything like that. It was just like a little weird. I really liked it nonetheless. I gave it 4 stars. I just don't think I liked it as much as The Wishing Game. It was more atmospheric than The Wishing Game. I feel like this one's more fantasy. I know The Wishing Game's like marketed as like some type of magical realism fantasy, but I didn't really feel the magic. But this one, I felt the magic. Next, I read A 10 Twist of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. I was really anticipating this. This is like a Vampire Heist young adult book, and I was like, that's right up my alley. I gave this a 3.5. Honestly, just because the first like part of the book, like this book is split up into like 3 parts. So like the first third of the book, so boring. There was so much world building that like honestly didn't help me at all. Like I didn't care about the world building like all that much. And I didn't feel like the stakes were high. I didn't feel like I liked any of the characters that I really was like, oh, maybe I do want these characters to succeed. Yeah, there's vampires sprinkled in, and I didn't feel like the vampires were like very fleshed out in the series, because we're just like given like, oh yeah, there's vampires, but like nothing else besides that. There was there was like not a love triangle, but like there was like Arthur had like some options. One of the options was bad, and then the other option was like, I feel like it's like the fan favorite, but like that person had no personality to them. We could have utilized him a lot more than what we did. But Jin, I really liked his relationship with Arthur and like their bond that they had. And then I really liked Flick's whole storyline. It was super good, and I really liked her as a character. So I really only cared about Jin and Flick. I didn't really connect to Arthur, and because I didn't really connect to like most of the characters, I didn't like find the storyline and plot engaging enough to rate it higher than a 3.5, but I love Hafsa Faisal's writing. Next, I read A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. I gave this one 2 stars. This one is like marketed as like, on Storygraph, it's like marketed as emotional and sad. Like I didn't feel sad whatsoever. I was just like, am I supposed to feel sad? I read the 5th anniversary edition. It was another like novella like add-on, so there was an extra section called Love Whiskey. This book is basically a book within a book. Honestly, these characters, both of them, but like B specifically, they were so selfish. Like they could not get it together, and they could just not like calm down and think rationally. So I was just like very upset, and it was like toxic, but like not like fun toxic, like Magnolia Park's toxic, where like it's just, I don't know, it doesn't compare to the I don't know, I'm comparing it to myself. I'm comparing it to Magnolia Parks myself, but I just didn't connect to any of the characters. It was just like whatever. And after I finished the original book, which is in B's POV, the Love Whiskey's in Jamie's POV, and Jamie's 50,000 extra words that gave me nothing. That gave me nothing that I didn't already know. If I didn't read Love Whiskey, probably would have given it like a 2.5, 2.75. Knocked it down. Next, I read The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. This was an Oak's POV. If you don't know anything about the Cruel Prince or like the spin-off series of Stolen Heir, The Stolen Heir was written in Ren's POV, and then this book is in Oak's POV. So I was like not expecting Oak's POV, but I really enjoyed Oak's POV because I really like reading the thought process of other Fae in the universe. It's so good. I feel like this storyline was just way better than The Stolen Heir, because I feel like The Stolen Heir was just like adding stuff to make me confused, and I didn't really get the gravity of the situation that much. This one, we have familiar characters from the Cruel Prince like trilogy. I love being back in Elfhame, because the first book we were mostly set in the Ice Court. I think that's what it is. Really love Elfhame. I'm so excited for what Holly Black has left in this world, because she's given a hint, and I've seen like some things, so I'm very excited. I gave this one a 4.5. Next, I read Yellowface by Ralph Kwong. This book makes me feel so icky. Like it makes me feel like I can't review books because I feel horrible to what the authors, like if they ever see my reaction to them. I know that people work so hard on books, and it's just like, ooh, I feel so bad. I'm getting this a 4 if I didn't say it already. The book is like 4 different books into one book, and like very well done. Like the writing's impeccable. There's like pop culture references of like the book atmosphere, like Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads, and like all those types of things, like reviews and stuff like that. The book is a history lesson, and it's like a critique on like review culture, and then also it's an intriguing story. It's also diving into like who gets to tell whose story in media. Basically, we follow June. She writes under the name Juniper Song, and she writes this book, and she steals the manuscript of her dead Asian friend Athena, and she steals that manuscript, writes it and rewrites it into her own story about Chinese laborers in World War I. And yeah, you can see how yeah, perfect name, Yellowface. And then honestly, at the end of the book, like the last 4 chapters, it's kind of like a thriller, and I felt like honestly, I was scared. I binge read like all like 20 chapters, and then once I hit chapter 20, I was like, oh my god, I'm a little scared, so I couldn't read this at night. I was just like, yeah, I've got to wait till the morning to read this. The way R.F. Kuang like wrote the book, and like the material that goes into the book, and like just like critiquing on who gets to tell whose story, so good. But it did make me feel icky. Like I felt like eek. I was like, ooh. I had to stop for a couple of seconds. I hated every single character. She makes you like hate every single character, which is good writing, R.F. Kuang. So 4 stars. Next I read, this is the last book I read in this 24-hour readathon. This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. I read Before I Let Go, I think last month, and I really liked it. I think it was so good. I gave that one a 4.5. But this one, This Could Be Us, I gave it 4.75. This follows a friend of Yasmin's, which is who we follow in the first book. Go into this book blind, because I'm not going to tell you like the plot, because it's actually so insane, and I think the plot was like so engaging, and I feel like because I liked this plot a lot more, and like I felt like it was like more fun to like follow along than just like rekindling a failed marriage in the first book. This one has like so much like substance to it, and it was just like so much drama that I loved it so much.
Or in Castilian Spanish, it's actually said as soledad.
Okay, I'm gonna say soledad, or it's Soledad, okay? I hope I'm saying it right. But we follow her. She also has 3 girls, and she's married to this guy, Edward, who's a deadbeat. Like, he's like so bad. Like, okay, he's not a deadbeat, but like he's a bad guy, right? And then we follow this other guy who becomes her main love interest. And just like the way that Soledad and Edward get a divorce, insane. I'm so happy that I read this book. It was so good. The guy is Judah, and he's also divorced. His divorce was like amicable, and so like they're still friends. They're raising 2 autistic sons, and those sons are so good. I just love every single character besides the people that you're supposed to hate, obviously. But I really like, it was just like so heartwarming, and like it was like kind of slow burn, but then it was like kind of not slow burn. It was really good. Judah was pining, so that really added to like the thing. He was like so obsessed with her that I loved it so much. So yeah, love this book, 4.75 stars. And that was the last book. That was the last book we read for the 24-hour readathon. Thank God. This took me a week and a day. So it took me 8 full days, but that was 9 days of reading because I started on the day. So that was 9 days of reading. And we finally finished a cumulative of 24 hours. And I finished 7 full books and 1 audiobook, so 8 books in that 24 hours. I don't know when the next 24-hour readathon is gonna be, because this one took everything out of me. Why did I think this was gonna be so much easier? No. I don't think I'm cut out for 24-hour readathons. Like, I don't think I could sit somewhere and read for just read for 24 hours. Like, I was on my phone for so long. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had breaks in between these. I just don't ever see myself doing 24-hour readathons. And I said this was gonna be a series, and if I do want to do it, I have to mentally prepare. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below if you have read any of the books that I read in this 24-hour readathon and your thoughts on them, or some books that I read that you're like, ooh, I kind of really want to read too. So yeah, comment, like, subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!